praying man, but if you're a player and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way. Oh, God.
Man, a prayer that probably many men have prayed in the holiday season. Good morning, pineapples. Welcome to the Wake Up America show. I'm your host, Austin Peterson. We're glad and thankful to have you here. It's Friday. Yes. God, my wife walked in the room this morning, and I was like, juicy. She looks fantastic.
Thank
Stephanie.
you. I'm in my prime. Thank you.
I'm in my prime.
As they say, there's no atheists in foxholes, right?
When you're at the end of your rope, who do you turn to? The man in the sky. The
Pretty
big
much
guy.
Everybody.
Everybody thinks about God. Everybody, I mean, when you're standing on the edge of the bridge like George Bailey there, and everything looks like it's turning against you. And trust me, I have been there many, many times. Oh, God. Is this the end? Is this the end for AP? Oh, God, are you up there? Can you hear me? God, it's me, Margaret.
I used to talk to my dog who died. I used to just talk to him, tell him how things are going. He was my guardian angel.
We're glad to have you here, Stephanie. And Justin will be here, but will you be with Justin? That's the question.
People are like, what? What do you mean?
People are going to be like mad when they hear this, some of them, but like they shouldn't be, because I don't see any names over in the chat that don't have a red castle next to them. So I don't think anybody has to worry about the paywall when Justin comes here today.
It's just the lurkers. Because we have a lot of lurkers, as we found out. When we go out in public, people meet us and we're like, we don't see you in the chat. Where are you? And they're like, I'm watching.
He's like, I watches the show. And I'm like, on Rumble? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll drop a comment. What do you say? Hello?
So you lurkers out there, you better get a castle or else you won't be able to watch the second hour of our show.
They have no idea what we're talking about. So Justin is going to join us in the second hour. It's Freedom Family Friday. We have a fun time always on Fridays. And we are doing Freedom Arcade tonight, so be ready to party.
Wow. A double dose. Look at that.
A double dose of us today. So if you can't get enough of us after the show today, then come back and join us again tonight, 8 p.m. for the Freedom Arcade. Everybody who joins the show can be on the show tonight if you're in our Discord. So here's the story. The second hour of the show today, when my brother Justin comes on today, it's the full Peterson effect. Not the full Peterson effect, but full Peterson effect. Justin and Stephanie will be here, but Justin is behind the paywall, and we have so many special surprises for you all today that we hope to God that everybody gets at least a gifted sub, because you'll have to be to watch the second hour of the show today. You'll have to have the little castle next to your name. So if you do, no worries. If you don't, drop a comment. Bucks Nasty says, I guess I'll F off then. No, we won't do that.
Does he not have a castle?
Does he
not have a castle?
He does not have a castle, but
Okay.
we're going to get him one. Okay.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is get him a castle, and that goes to help unlock the bonus content anyway. It's like when people donate, so many benefits and bonuses and things start unlocking and happening on the show. We like the first phase. It's like a 3-stage rocket that we build for them. And the first phase of the rocket is if we raise $100 on the show today, either in purchases from our shop or in Rumble rants that are gifted or subscriptions that are gifted, the little red castles we're talking about. The first phase is they get a 5-minute mini documentary to watch it instead of commercials, which is way more fun. And then the second phase, $150, is a real game show. Like we go full Bob Barker up in here, Price is Right, and we play games together for real prizes on this show if we raise $150 on the Wake Up America show.
If I was still your fan, not your wife, I would probably be winning that game every single day. I'd be like the number one person in there all the time, overachieving.
As she did during my campaign, and I saw her amongst the multitudes of my female supporters.
I remember when you gifted me a sub on Twitch.
It was a big deal.
I was the only person that you gifted a sub to, and I was just your friend at that time.
You're literally the only woman on this earth who has ever gotten horny from being gifted a sub.
I know.
Yeah. Jimmy Joe Patty, no castle. Somebody's got to do some sub gifting. Looks like they're starting to do it already. Drew Van Ronkel's already opened it up. Brad is doing it. Merry Christmas.
And some of you well, the 1776ers and above should be getting our holiday card in the mail this week. I mailed them out just the other day. So those of you who are local here in Jefferson City, like Nelson, you should be getting yours.
Here's the thing. I'm like George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life. I know that if I don't step up and save my family, do what it takes to succeed, then nobody else will. But she is my Mary Bailey. Remember Mary Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, I wouldn't let this family fail. Don't you worry. I don't like to put all that pressure on you.
You don't have to put any pressure on me. The pressure is there whether you like it or not. The fact is that as the man, it is my job to make this business work. I saw a video today. It scared me. It showed a guy who like his entrepreneurial endeavors had failed.
Yeah.
And he was like listening to the meeting about the 9-to-5 job from the 9-to-5 job. And I was like, it was just like this droning on from the HR department. And I was just like, Jesus, God, no, please don't send me back to that life. I'll be George Bailey.
I know. I remember I had a nightmare one night that I had to go to work in person. And I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was freaked out by that. And I'm like, wow, that was my life every day.
Yeah. Well, in It's a Wonderful Life, Mary Bailey is kind of like the real hero of the movie. She's the one who kind of steps in and she volunteers in her community and she steps in to like save the savings and loan. It's an incredible story of resilience and of love and of miracles. It's a tale of miracles. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. And, it's a fantastic story and probably the best Christmas movie of all time, but I'm open to being convinced.
I don't know if I've ever watched it all the way through.
Oh, well, maybe that's what we need to do this year.
Yes.
Teacher says, every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Welcome to Ashley Ann, Cell Blocked, Drew Van Runkle, John and KC. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Buck's Nasty.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
And I do want to say, for anybody who was following my pajama pant washing saga, I did wash my pajama pants, and they came out great. So they are waiting for me to wear this weekend. Yeah, I was wearing those pajama pants for like many days on end.
Here it is. This is the scene I was telling you about, Stephanie.
My founding father pajama pants.
This is the one. This is the key scene here.
George, there is a rumor around town that you've closed your doors. Is that true?
Now he's squeezed him on purpose to try and
so this isn't
him.
the Great Depression. This is something.
Yeah, it's the Great Depression, but I mean, it's the control that the lenders to the savings and loan. There it is. I'll take $17.76 a month. How's that?
That's why
I
keep money under the mattress.
When you're a kid, you don't understand the complicated economic situation that these people were in at this time. And we certainly have our own economic challenges. But Stephanie, I don't know if you or I have ever experienced a run on the banks in our lifetime. That's for sure.
No, not where you have to go get your money out.
No, where you've ever had to be afraid to go down to the bank and that they wouldn't be able to deposit your, to pull out a deposit.
Well, I've had my own frustrations with depositing something. Mm-hmm. I have my U.S. savings bonds and no bank will deposit them.
You know what? You're right.
I'm so annoyed.
Actually, that is a really good story,
I've
Stephanie.
had these U.S. savings bonds since I was born, a baby, in 1988. So they finally have matured. And I tried to go to banks where I have business accounts, not personal, but they're business with my name on them. Mm-hmm. They will not let me cash these in because I have to have a personal checking account. And in order to be able to cash them in, I would have to have a personal checking account established for 2 years. So even if I opened up one today, apparently, I would have to wait 2 years before I could deposit the U.S. savings bonds. It is so stupid, but they claim it's because of fraud for U.S. savings bonds.
We're trying to finish this year as strong as we can because without the community of people like yourselves who support the Wake Up America show, this show wouldn't be on 5 days a week. There would be no Christmas specials. There would be no Freedom Family Fridays. Without people like yourself stepping in and helping to keep the savings and loan intact. there'd be no community. The Founding Flavors coffee is how we keep our ship afloat, and it's delicious, and it is independently verified as fantastic, high-quality coffee. At forlibertyshop.com, when you make a purchase during the live show, that goes to unlock the bonus content, and it helps keep the savings and loan intact. Right, Mary Bailey?
That's right. And so if you want some quick ship items, you can get our children's books still, which are on Amazon, so no worries about shipping. And also our keychains, which we ship right here from our home. So I will personally be packaging them up for you.
We can't guarantee holiday delivery for any of the other items in our shop, but we do have some quick ship items. I just want to remind you all that if you have tried the coffee and you love the coffee, we need your 5-star review. Also, if you're out, why don't you just stock up and subscribe? Subscribe and save.
I can say what holiday they need to prepare for, though.
Which one is that?
New Year's.
New Year's? Why is that?
So New Year's Eve, if you're having a bash, you may need some coffee to stay awake until midnight.
That's true. I sometimes drink coffee before parties.
That's right. When you're, a little older, if there's any young people watching, they're like, what the heck? They drink Monster.
Yeah, we need our own energy drink.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
That'd be it. A George Washington energy drink, that'd sell like hotcakes.
Yes. But what we do sell here is shot glasses, whiskey glasses, wine glasses. That would be great
Absolutely.
for a party for New Year's.
And I think Brad was going to make a bundle for that today, too. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. We've got a bundle for you. The best value is the second pick here when you go to the Founding Flavors coffee page. The AP for Liberty's favorites, the top 3. If you want to try all of the flagship brands, we do have the complete collection bundle here. When you're at the page, you scroll down. That's $89.99, but if that's too rich for your blood, I get it. Sometimes loans get called in. AP for Liberty's favorite coffee is the top 3, only $64.99 to try what I recommend as the top 3. Siggy's mom, she's got it going on, says, I love you guys. Thanks to Steffi.
Oh, Siggy's mom. I just emailed you yesterday, Siggy's mom.
Leslie Fair says, sell an energy drink called Liberty Prime. Yes. That's a great idea.
Well, we have some like yerba mate energy drinks, remember, in our garage?
We tried them. I didn't love them. I actually like regular yerba mate better than the sugary American version. It doesn't help the California sober. I need an AP for Liberty bong. Well, I guess I could 3D print that.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's the funny thing. We do have like marijuana items, not actual like to eat, but we have like marijuana like shirts and stuff. But like people aren't really interested in those. So I thought libertarians were all about marijuana, getting high. But apparently people don't want to let other people know that they get high.
Well, yes and no. I mean, people always threaten to buy the marijuana Christmas sweatshirts, but they never do.
Right. Are you worried you'll be drug tested while you're wearing your sweater?
Great question there. Because look, we've got weed, bong, ugly sweater.
Yeah, what if you're
tee.
like pulled over by the police while you're wearing this like marijuana shirt?
Well, I'm sure that happens all the time. But if you're in Missouri, then you're fine.
Right. Yeah, it's legal here. That's right. Buy the shirt and come to Missouri.
Weed, bong, ugly sweater. I mean, maybe it's because we've done terrible marketing for these, to be honest.
I don't think we advertised them at all.
Yeah. Well, you know what we have sold, honestly? We have sold baked as sweatshirts.
Well, yes, because it's a double entendre.
A double entendre.
Yes.
Is it a double entendre?
I may not be able to enjoy the one baked, but I can enjoy another type of baked, which is baking cookies, right?
Baked AF.
Uh-huh.
Ashley Ann says she lost her Smoking George coin.
You lost your Smoking George coin.
Oh, well, maybe she'll have a chance to win another one.
Are you being negligent?
She'll have a chance to win another one at the end of the show today.
Oh, my goodness. I did think I had lost all of my jewelry once. And then I looked in a compartment in my jewelry box that I did not know existed, and all of it was in there, including my Smoking George coin. So if you have a jewelry box, just look through all the different drawers and you will find it. Don't you worry.
Suburban Dadcore, we gotta have somebody gift him a sub because he's gonna miss out on Justin. I don't want anybody to miss out on Justin, but Justin's going to be behind the paywall today. If you want to see Justin, you got to have the little red castle next to your name. And I know I'm a mean one, Mr. Grinch, but I'm not trying to ruin anybody's Christmas. But here's the deal. If you want us to turn this whole show into a Christmas carol singing extravaganza, like I'm talking like, Flight of the Muppets, whatever, Christmas special, we got to raise $200 for that to happen. So once we hit the $200 Christmas special, it's suddenly a Christmas extravaganza. And Justin and Stephanie and I will be singing Christmas songs and maybe even a Hanukkah song if you're lucky.
There's like 2 of them that exist.
You'll have an elf on a shelf and a mensch on a bench this Christmas and Hanukkah, which we've got Christmaka. It's like there's overlap this year. Sometimes there's no overlap.
Well, I mean, Hanukkah starts, I think, this Sunday.
Right.
So, there's no overlap of Christmas and Hanukkah this year.
I
It'll
think
be over
there
by the
is.
time Christmas comes.
Hold on. I think
Because it's 8 days.
Christmasaka, they call it. Christmasaka? Mm-hmm. Christmasaka.
Well, sometimes Hanukkah falls when Christmas falls.
Right.
And so then, you definitely have an overlap.
The Christmaka alignment. So Hanukkah 2025 begins December 14th and runs through December 22nd. While not a day-for-day overlap with Christmas, it places the Festival of Lights directly in the peak holiday shopping party week. So it creates a whole Christmaka vibe. So we're all kind of getting down at the same time.
It's so that the Jewish people don't feel like they're missing out. That's ultimately what it is.
Isn't that what kind of every Jewish holiday is mostly these days? I mean, isn't it? There's like the high
right
holidays.
around Easter, they're like, let's have Passover.
Right.
But
Passover,
didn't Jesus' meal come first, right?
No, actually Passover came first.
Right, Jesus' meal was Passover. That was his last meal.
Oh,
Passover.
that's right. Thank you. Stephanie, you tell me, talking about Jesus here.
Bringing my knowledge.
That's true.
Yes.
It's not often that the Jew won't have to be on Christianity. But that's true, yes. But Passover and Jesus, but the Passover was first, came before Jesus. Because Jesus celebrated Passover.
That is true.
Yes.
That is true.
Yeah. John and KC says that I thought I was a 1776 member, but I missed a notification some time ago that my card needed to be updated. Oops. Yeah. I get those emails that say.
Oh, no, John. Well, please sign up. I have cards. I ordered 20 more, so I can send you a card.
Yeah. And we're going to be calling everybody that we can. If you haven't gotten a phone call yet, then maybe send us a text message and just let us know. AP stuff, we'd love to hear from you. We're trying to get as many people signed up to be 1776ers by the end of the year. Basically, we're kind of like in holiday pledge-a-thon mode because I see, Reason Magazine and all these people, all these nonprofits that get like billionaire dollars and stuff. We get no corporate money. Everything that we get comes from our community. And next year, I have a very ambitious plan to 5 to 7x the size of this institution. And it only happens if I call you and beg. And I'll do it.
Yeah, he does. He does it.
It's the hardest thing to do, man. It is. And Brad is this week. We've been really doing a lot of calls. And Brad this week, I'm turning him into kind of like a little Jordan Belfort. Sell me this pen. And he's doing great at it. I'm really proud. Brad has had a great year for us. He's part of the For Liberty family. Let's all just kind of like say thank you to Brad Beckman.
He made a really cool shirt yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
It's one about freedom grows.
Yep.
And it has a plant that's like a freedom torch. And I'm really in love with it as a gardener.
Mm-hmm. We really are trying to tap into all of the disparate liberty communities, the farmers, the crunchy granolas, the gun community, the preppers, the gold bugs, the Bitcoin freaks,
The stoners. The mushroom users. Everybody.
The Drew Van Runkels.
Yes.
And just anybody who just wants to be left alone. Get off my lawn, like me. Get out of my face. Get out of my business. Let's build a community of liberty lovers, a healthy, non-toxic community of liberty lovers, staying out of as much drama as we can, but creating as many problems for the statists as possible. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow.
Every generation has its signature voices, whose singular name echoes throughout every holiday season. Bing, Sinatra, Elvis, Mariah, and now, Candace.
Dashing to the bank, thanks to my engagement ring. I'm a grifting tool, laughing at you fools.
That's right, it's Candace, as you've never heard her before, bringing you the fullness of joy this Christmas with her trailblazing flair and brutal honesty. Nothing says, trust me, bro, this time of year quite like a Candace Christmas.
That's Candace, you gave me your clicks, but the very next day I sold out anyway. This year, for even more fame, I'll try to frame Josh Hammer. It's the most profitable time of the year. There'll be podcasts for hosting, former friends for roasting, and plenty of gullibles to deceive. There'll be scary Jew stories, tall tales to boost my glory from text, fake from long, long ago. Guitar baby, slip Alexis
Oh my
under
gosh.
the tree for me.
I wonder if she has a merch store.
I've been in off
Like, does her shirt say, like, I hate Jews or something?
And rush that wire transferred.
Oh my
Guitar
goodness.
baby.
You know, Candace has been in the news a lot, and I was talking to you about this last night. I don't know all that she has said about Charlie Kirk, but I know Candace and Erica Kirk have been in the news a lot, and Candace has been talking a lot about assassination conspiracy theories,
Right.
about how, TPUSA is, like, involved in his assassination, right?
Right.
And then I saw people bashing Erica Kirk for grieving the wrong way because she's out selling Charlie Kirk's book right now.
Right, right.
You know, she's just continuing to work. She's not really grieving. And so that makes you think, like, how would I grieve, right?
Yeah.
How does anybody grieve? And you see her crying in her news interviews. Like when she's on like Fox, she's like sobbing while she's talking about Charlie Kirk coming home for Shabbos and putting his phone away.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If some retard shoots me, Stephanie,
Yeah.
take over this business and make it shine.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'll be on Fox News, you know, crying and, you know, talking about your mission and all of the things that you've done.
Yeah, do it.
Absolutely.
Do it. Lead the mission, Stephanie. Believe me, guys, she's a much better person than I ever was.
Oh, no.
She's way better than I am.
No. I mean, yes, women do sell things better, and Erica Kirk is very beautiful. Very beautiful. So I'm sure a
You're
lot
like
of
the
people
epitome,
are.
Stephanie. You're the redheaded libertarian girl. You're like, I know there's a lot of redheaded libertarian girls,
Right.
but I mean, you are the redheaded libertarian girl.
Well, TRHL official would not agree with that.
But I mean, I don't
Yes.
care. You're the redheaded libertarian girl, at least in my world.
Oh, I know. And so I was thinking, I was like, if I was really grieving, you know, how would I act? What would I do? And I know from just, you know, the few people or animals that I have lost in my life, you can probably speak to this even better than me. You feel this void and you have like all of this love that you want to give to this person, but like you have nowhere to put it. And so I can see why Erica Kirk is continuing to stay involved with TPUSA, you know, go on the news, talk about Charlie Kirk, because it's important to channel that love and that energy outward, you know, to continue to spread that love that Charlie spread. And I think that's probably one of the coolest ways to grieve, honestly.
Yeah.
It's the most productive way to grieve.
AP wants you to grift the hell out of his death, says Drew Van Runkle.
I'll make t-shirts saying I love AP, rest in peace AP.
R.I.P. AP for the grave. AP for
R.I.P. for AP.
R.I.P. for AP. There it is. There's the hashtag. That's
RIP for AP.
RIP
Oh
for
my
AP.
goodness.
R.I.P. for AP.
Oh boy. So I guess you got to start working on your book so that after you die one day,
You can release
when
it.
you're 90 years old, I
Yeah.
can go on Fox News and talk
Yeah.
about your
People
book.
have been telling me to write a book for years. You know, I'm going to start it, and then somebody can assassinate me, and we can do it.
You know, the interesting thing is that a lot of famous people, they have things that are finished, like right when they die. Like Michael Jackson. I remember he had some music that he had just finished, and they released it after his death.
Well, mine would be like the Battle of Athens documentary.
Right.
That's
It'd
what
be
you're
like
doing,
the
yeah.
documentary Never Seen Before. Austin just finished it before his last breath.
Exactly.
You know, here
There
you
we go. So,
Right.
you know, and then this bitch.
Now, I wasn't sure about Erica. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
waiting kind of a situation for her to be in, obviously, having lost her husband, becoming the CEO and the chairman of a company. It's just a lot of transition, and it's nice to wait for more information before you prejudge or just assume, make an assumption about somebody, and it maybe is not based in reality. Well, we are getting a lot more of Erica Kirk this week. I'll tell you that because she has been doing the rounds in the media really over the last couple of weeks. And she just gave an interview live with Harris Faulkner on Fox News where she finally addressed the quote unquote conspiracy theories. And I have to say this because it's true, but it completely missed the mark. For me, I am sorry, it just has. But the good news is that she is now unmurkying the water in terms of her intentions with this massive political organization. That's good news, truly, because we knew Charlie, and now we are getting an opportunity to know Erica.
Who's we?
What?
We.
What is she so mad at Erica about? What does she think Erica should do?
I don't think she's really, I don't know if she really believes necessarily everything she's saying. I think this is a very, either very, very cunning psyop or just the straight grift. It could be both.
You can feel her tension inside of her. I mean, she has so much anger, and it's like...
And she's got those eyes, like she's got the dead shark eyes, you know, like the AI eyes right there. Like it's very,
maybe
very
she
wide.
is AI. Maybe she's turned herself into AI.
I don't know. I think that... I think there's probably a lot of jealousy there.
Oh, yeah. She wishes her husband was as great as Charlie Kirk. I don't know anything about her husband.
Well, he was like for a brief period, was the head of TPUSA in the UK.
Oh, he was the head of...
Yes.
Oh, she's jealous.
Oh, she
is jealous.
Yeah.
She wanted to be Erica Kirk here in USA.
She calls... The thing is that
Oh,
like...
yeah.
She has all these conspiracy theories for everything, but like the real conspiracy theory is about her and her strange life and her. She admitted that I don't think she met her husband in person. They met over Zoom call. It was like 10 days and they got married, you know, before they really knew each other.
Really?
There was no romance involved. His name is George Farmer.
There's no romance involved?
No. It's like it was a strange sort of like...
She needs to get laid. That's what's wrong with her.
Well, no, I think I think the problem was that she got laid. This is kind of a postpartum madness.
She has children, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think this is kind of a postpartum madness.
I feel so bad for her kids.
Yeah.
If her kids go to school, like anywhere in the public eye,
honestly, Kanye's kids are probably better off than hers.
Yeah. They're probably happier for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't get what... I think Candace is looking for Erica Kirk to like admit that she arranged her husband to be murdered or something. Like, is that what she's looking for?
It's a lot of that. It's whatever she'll say one thing one day and then the next day she just says she doesn't say it. Right?
Candace says that?
Yeah, she'll say something and then she'll deny that she said it. And it doesn't matter if you play the clip back. But but I think probably like the phenomenon of Candace is more than just who she is, but the people who are stupid enough to fall for it. Mm-hmm. Because what it really goes to show that it doesn't even really necessarily matter what you say. Mm-hmm. What matters is how you make them feel, right? And
well, how she makes me feel is incredibly negative and like scared and like confused.
You have what's called a conscience.
Yeah.
You have a moral compass.
Yeah.
And you're not the type. You're the type of person who like you wouldn't desecrate a grave. Mm-hmm. You're not a grave robber. You're not the word for it. Technical word is a ghoul. You're not a ghoul.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are very ghoulish. And there's a reason why they, murder videos and all these kinds of things are very popular.
Well, I mean, we do watch like murder mystery shows.
Right. But do you know which demographic loves the murder mysteries more than anybody?
Women. Oh yeah,
right?
women love them. They love the
that.
ID channel.
Yes, and they all love to feel like they're in on a conspiracy. So this is. Yeah. I'm writing an article about this. I haven't released it yet, just because I haven't really kind of like gotten like the tent poles up for it for what.
Okay, I'll go on Fox News and talk about it for you.
Well, it's like I'm calling it, and I might change the title, but the wine mom. Or the what I call the bored housewife theory of conspiracy theories. Which is that you women have too much time on your hands, and you're allowed to. You've had a little too much to think. And
whenever women come to me, moms, and they're like, "I'm bored," I'm just like, "How? How are you bored? Like, if you're doing your chores the right way, and like if you have even like one hobby, like you should not be bored as a mother."
No, you should not. They're not. Well, the thing is that maybe they have wealthy husbands like her, right?
And they have no chores.
And their wealthy husbands will indulge them, right? Yeah. When instead of like, so I very gently, to the greatest extent I can, try and rein in your overthinking on things, right? And I'm indelicate about it to some degree, but I also don't have time for any bullshit. I don't have time
for it. Yes, you see, I'm constantly moving. Even at 9 o'clock at night, I'm constantly moving.
Let's not change the subject here. Let's talk about
talking about boredom. I'm never sitting there bored.
But it's overthinking. Overthinking is the killer of like entrepreneurial dreams or plans or ventures.
Of course.
At some point, you have to pull the plug. It's not going to be perfect, right? So like the demand for perfectionism, right? But it turns you into a form of madness, right? Where you have to say, no, we're going to cut it off and we're going to move, damn it, right? So these females, completely uninhibited, at home with their rich husbands, bored at home, what are they doing? They're watching Alex Jones and Candace Owens, and they're going psycho about ballistics of 30-06 rounds, and they never fired a freaking 22 in their life.
Right.
And they'll lecture Green Berets and U.S. Marines. I see Candace's followers lecturing the gun community about what a 30-06 bullet will do in a human body, and you've got these retards who serve pizzas at Domino's with 1 million followers going, I saw a video once and they did the test and it worked. And like the Marines are like, you fucking clowns. Like, you don't know shit about this. Ballistics.
Well, I think it's natural as humans to look for patterns in our environment to try to deduce certain conclusions, right? And so I know after Charlie was murdered, I myself was also looking for patterns that I saw and different clues and things because, I don't know, that's just where my mind goes. I like to solve problems and figure things out, right? Maybe that's just a woman's brain.
Right. But the thing is that you don't have enough to do. You need more. You obviously don't have enough chores because you should be working. Women used to be worked to the bone. You don't understand. You and your white collar jobs. You know, men are still out there having to suffer in the sewers and build the buildings and do all the manual labor while women have placed themselves into corporate jobs, lawyer jobs, powerful, feminist girl boss jobs. And then they deign to lecture society about how people ought to live. But the problem is that when they have these jobs, these it gives them so much free time. Well, idle hands are the devil's plaything.
Well, I will say one thing.
And that is the phenomenon of the conspiracy wine mom phenomenon of Candace Owens and Alex Jones and many of these people.
I will say one thing about the woman's brain compared to the man's brain. A woman's brain is very multitasking. Women can think about 10 things at once, while taking care of their kids,
and
while working, while cleaning. Well, I mean, they can basically think about all these things going on at once, whereas a man, they don't multitask as well.
What you call multitasking is just called task switching. And when you do task switching, you don't do any one thing well.
A man's brain is just not set up to multitask like a woman is.
Here's the thing. We don't have the luxury. We don't have the luxury to sit around and question U.S. Marines about ballistics to find out whether or not it was JFK was shot from the grassy knoll or not. Are there plenty of men who engage in conspiratorgery? Absolutely. Is this are they supported? This is why this article is so important, because I'm reading history. And believe it or not, in his early days, Adolf Hitler came to power in part because of the bored housewives of Germany.
Right.
That he couldn't meet with the men because the men were busy, right? But Hitler needed to. Rasputin did this, by the way. The guy, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen, right? He was banging all of the court ladies, right?
Yes,
How did Rasputin get big? How did Rasputin, the guy? Remember they shot him, they froze him, they put him in the thing. How did Rasputin with the penis? How did he get huge? Why was he so powerful in the court? Because all of the ladies wanted him to do to preach and to do the astrology and all that mystical shit. He was the Candace Owens of the time. Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen. It was a shame how he carried on.
I don't know. I think
it was the bored housewives of Russia.
There are just as many conspiracy theorists, libertarian men. There's actually probably more of them than there are women. I'm just saying.
Just listen.
There's a lot of conspiracy theorist men out there.
Hey, listen. I'm not saying that there are no conspiracy theories.
So what does that mean? Are they bored housemen?
Yeah, they are men.
Why are there so many men?
I don't respect them. I don't respect them as a man. Yeah. But you know why? Because give me 10 minutes. Like, step into the fucking ring with the sensei right now. Step into the ring with me. Don't Don't talk to me from behind a keyboard. You want to debate me? Step into the ring. Let's talk conspiracy theories. Name it. 9/11 truth, vaccines, chemtrails, JFK assassination. Give me the conspiracy theory debate. Bring me the conspiratard, and I will give you their heads. And I will turn you around so fast and spin you around and sit you in your chair that you'll be screaming, "Oh, Daddy, AP, I'm so sorry." Get a brain, Morans.
I think it's just an American problem. You know, it's just like
It
the
is
mice,
important.
where when the mice are in the utopia in this experiment, they
Yes.
end up killing each other. And I think we've gotten to that point in
Bored
society where
mice.
even if we're working 40 to 60-hour weeks, we still have time to sit at our desk, go on our phone, go on Twitter, tweet out. Do you know how much work for your political campaign I got done while I was working a full-time job?
Yeah, because you didn't
And
have,
I was
what
was
happened?
working every
And
single day.
And when you got
Yeah.
busy, and when you
Yeah.
got busy, and when you got a man and husband, and then you got a child,
Yeah.
did you have time for bullshit conspiracy theories anymore, Stephanie? Or have you lost a little bit of that crunch? You know what Camellia said on that show yesterday? She's like, we were talking about raw milk, and she's like, I'm a little less crunchy granola than I used to be. I'm like, yeah, because you got a real job, woman, because you got responsibilities. You don't have time to sit around and be like, oh, what does the crystal fucking say about
Oh, yeah.
JFK and the bullet, his bad head bullet went back into the left? Nah, bitch, like you're no longer the beautiful mouse in the beautiful mouse kingdom. You're the raggedy mouse busting your ass trying to make a living.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have time to really look stuff up online anymore because I'm with Hazel or I'm working.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't have the time really to do the research that I used to do when I was single and no children.
I know Relaxing's kidding, but I think he makes a really good point when he says, "You leave my conspiracy theories alone." It becomes the sacred cow.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, this conspiracy theories, like you've invested so much in them, especially if it's like a vaccine conspiracy theory, and every conspiracy theory has a grain of truth in it. See, here we go. Every conspiracy theory has a grain of truth to it, and then you build a temple of lies on top of that grain of truth, and then you use the Mott and Bailey. You say, I'm not saying this, I'm saying this, which is the truth. It's like Nick Fuentes the other day when he was interviewed by Piers Morgan. He's like, oh, which black men do you think should be in jail? And Nick's like, obviously the ones who are raping and murdering. Well, yeah, everybody agrees that the black men who should be in jail are raping and murdering. But you're pretending like you want to put all black men in jail. But when you're asked a question, you actually just say the normie position. That's the Mott. There's the Bailey, right? Mott and Bailey. So tell us about your grain of truth whelp on vaccines. Go ahead. Tell us the truth that it's probably going to be true. And then we build the web of lies around it, Stephanie. Go ahead, Candace. Take over.
So before I had a child,
Here we go.
I was a vaccine conspiracy theorist, 100%, very skeptical of the flu shot, every single vaccine. And now that I don't have time to really think about conspiracy theories, you just kind of have to act, right? All you can do is just like trust your doctor and, just try to talk about your concerns with your doctor. And then usually they put your concerns to rest and they're just like for example, vaccine spacing. I talked to the doctor about this and they're like, why would you want to space out the vaccines and terrorize your child more than they're already terrorized when they get a vaccine? They scream and cry. Why do you want to give them more vaccines, like in terms of like timing, than you need to? You don't. But the thing that makes me scared is that now all of a sudden, hepatitis B, vitamin K, now they're coming back and they're saying you shouldn't give your children these types of vaccines, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, really?
There is something to be said for the wisdom of a mother. There is something to be said for trusting your gut. And I am definitely a person who advocates for trusting your gut. But I'm not going to listen to a wine mom's opinion or read her self-published book when she has she works in an HR department and has a master's in gay gender communism. I'm not going to listen to their opinions about that stuff. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying I trust the experts, but I'm going to go listen. I'm going to go get a few experts' opinions and then compare them to each other. And I'm still going to do my own research while recognizing the limitations of my own abilities to be able to interpret this data. And listen, why do we go to doctors? If you don't trust them, if you're not going to take their advice, why do you go to them? Don't go to the doctor then. Like, just be the people that don't go to the doctor. And then, but then, of course, when your kid's sick and then you don't take them to the doctor, that becomes a problem. Another question in society.
I feel like nowadays you have to like tell the doctor how to care for you. You know, like I literally like say to the doctor, hey, maybe we need to try this medication. How do you feel about that? It's like, I shouldn't be telling you what to do. I shouldn't be telling you what my possible diagnosis is medically. It's like, but nowadays that's how it works. These doctors just don't do anything.
Well, it's like, people got real freaked out because of the COVID vaccine. And, you know, when you say conspiracy theory, it's kind of like, it's a cart before a horse, chicken and egg situation. Like, you have to kind of like, you have to try and think outside of like, in order to think clearly, you have to abandon, and really scientifically, abandon any preconceptions you might have. Be prepared to accept the truth, no matter what the truth is, and then sit down and say to yourself, what really makes sense? Why did they do this? Was there a cabal of people who were on standby, ready to take power and institute tyranny when the pandemic came down? Sure, always. But there's always a natural instinct to do something like that. But in terms of writ large, there will always have to be a group of people who will be ready to deal with a pandemic situation. That's a real scenario that we have to deal with. And if COVID had been more dangerous, we probably wouldn't be having a lot of the conversations the way that we had. If it had been like Captain Trips from The Stand, right? If people were really dropping dead in the streets, then people would be a lot more alarmed. But because it was a boomer remover, right? It was, and because it didn't hurt kids, and because so many people were so wrong about their recommendations.
We didn't know. I was in the hospital when COVID first started, and I remember sitting in the nurse's station, and we had like our very first COVID patient, and I remember the very brave nurse that wore her entire like hazmat suit to go in to care for that patient, and the patient would just like go down a hill in terms of their condition all of a sudden, and like nobody knew why or how or what. So it was like, you know, hindsight is 20/20. So like looking back, we now know what was going on. But when you're in the moment, and this is the first experience you have with COVID, you don't know what's happening. Like, it's like people are becoming possessed by COVID. You know, we don't know what it's going to do to somebody.
Well, and like there also, everybody's learning for the first time what a coronavirus is.
Yeah.
People thought that it was a novel coronavirus, and they called it that briefly in 2019. But then, and it was novel to the extent that how science uses the term novel, but coronaviruses themselves were not novel. But most people didn't know what a coronavirus was, or how that. We all were many people were learning for the first time about it.
Absolutely,
about
especially in the medical community.
Yeah, and Dr. Fauci didn't know what the hell he was doing.
No,
he was not. He was not some genius. He was not a maestro of the pandemic. And the left lifted him up to be a god, and he was not. And we should have always been skeptical of him. And it's fine to be skeptical of doctors. It's fine to be skeptical. But you know, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's sort of like when it comes to flu shot. People will be like, well, they say the flu shot's only 30% effective. And it's kind of like, okay, well, that doesn't sound very high. And that 30% is like the highest that it gets.
Because a lot of times they pick strains that people aren't getting. And so that's what makes it not effective. Because like in the hospital setting, they used to mandate the flu vaccine unless you had an exception. And so a lot of times they would be putting the vaccine in you with certain strains that, you know, weren't even that major, I guess, during flu season. So there were other strains that were left out of the vaccine.
Well, the way that I like to think about it is like if you had a 30%, if you had a 100% chance of dying, but you had a 30% chance of not dying, would you like to have the 30% odd, or would you not like to have the 30% odd?
It depends what the side effects are of the vaccine. It depends what it's going to do to me long term.
If your ass is old or you are sick and decrepit, you would like to have a better chance of not dying this flu season. You might want to get a flu shot. If you're a healthy, hale youngster, you're probably not going to need a flu shot, right? Your immune system's going to be able to handle it. It's a case-by-case basis. You look at this...
So that's why I don't agree with these campaigns where it's like, everybody get your flu shot, everybody, you know. I think they should just say, you know, the more vulnerable people in the population, you know, we highly recommend you get it. Here's why. It's because you can't fight off infections as well as the, you know, younger, more energetic people.
Yeah, I mean, and that makes sense. So it's like, do young people like ourselves, like more healthy people, do we really need it? Probably not.
Right, but the doctors are all saying, every time you go to the doctor, every year, do you want your flu shot? It's like, I'm totally healthy. Why do I need it?
Because they want to make that money.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably get paid by somebody the more they give flu shots.
They definitely do.
Yeah.
And so there's a good reason to question, right? I'm not saying that there's no conspiracies. I'm just saying.
Well, just now that we're coming out with these, you don't need to give your baby hepatitis B. You don't need to give your baby vitamin K. Well, we do have a conspiracy theorist in office right now, RFK Jr.
I'm skeptical of that because I know that that's an RFK Jr. thing. I know Senator Rand Paul, who is a doctor, but an eye doctor, is also like pushing for that and to remove the hepatitis B vaccine.
So is Dr. Bob Onder. He also is skeptical of that.
Yeah.
Not vitamin K, but hepatitis B. He's skeptical.
I'm whenever it's something that I'm like, okay, I hear something like that. I'm like, okay, now let me hear what people who disagree with them have to say. Because even though I trust Dr. Bob Onder, I trust Senator Rand Paul, and I don't trust RFK Jr., but even though I trust, those men, and the people who we've talked about it, I just want to hear a second opinion and see what the other people say. Why do they do it, even if you're not a drug user or having all kinds of crazy sex? And they do give good reasons, and for which I will not list here because we're not going to turn this into the Christmas conspiracy show. I know. Well, right. I can say that if you work in healthcare and you get a needle stuck in you, you can get hepatitis B. So it's like, even if you're not, a person who's, sexually, explorative, you can still get hepatitis B. Yeah, it can happen. So and there's more to that argument, but we'll talk about it later. Good morning, pineapples. Looking very good and very nice.
Isn't it amazing how quickly you can get into conspiracy theory holes?
See, that's it. That's it. That's the thing. That's why it's not good for you, man. It's bad for your brain. It's just, and then you didn't do anything useful and talk about any of the other fun topics that you had up in the queue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we didn't raise any money.
Guys. Oh my gosh.
Well, we did raise some, but not enough to unlock phase 1 of the bonus content. I think I'm a little worried, guys. I want everybody to join us for the second hour of the show, but if you don't have the red castle next to your name, then you're about to say bye-bye. And I don't want anybody to say bye-bye. I want everybody to be a part of this show. Soon, in just a few minutes, the only way you're going to be able to watch the Wake Up America show for the second hour with Justin, with all of our Christmas cheer and fun, the only way that'll happen is if you have that red castle next to your name. Now, how do you get the red castle next to your name? Well, you either buy a sub for yourself or you get gifted a sub. Ask nicely in the chat. I'm sure somebody will do it. And all of the money that's collected goes to unlock the bonus content. The bonus content is in 3 phases. Phase 1, we raise $100. That $100 unlocks your mini documentary that we should be watching now instead of commercials before Justin comes up. Nevertheless, she persisted. So if we do unlock it by the end of the show, we'll play at the end of the show. Phase 2 is we play a game. We play a little game, and we're going to play the Great Grift Off, Liberty Loot Live, if we raise $150. At $200, Justin's got his piano warmed up. He's ready to sing some Christmas song, bring some Christmas cheer. But if we don't get there, I just don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But all of this can be solved with simple little coupons. Fun coupons sent to forlibertyshop.com. At forlibertyshop.com, we get free shipping in the USA. Of course, we're free. We're in America, baby. Head on over to forlibertyshop.com. Of course, our delicious Founding Flavors coffee should go into your basket, or else it gets the hose again. But the latest product drops are available at forlibertyshop.com.
We have gift cards.
Gift cards. Stephanie loves this Freedom sweater. Maybe I'll get it for her for Christmas.
It's so cute.
Freedom. Nothing grows without it. Bucks Nasty just gifted 10 subs. Arvold gifted 1, and Steelbringer gifted 1 too. Oh boy. That means probably everybody who's watching is going to get to watch the show. But we'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah, you guys, I need you to watch the documentary so that I can finish my cereal that's been sitting on the floor.
Yeah, she wants to eat that cereal.
Thank you.
So let's get that mini documentary unlocked.
Allow me to feed a Jewish woman.
Feed a Jewish woman on Christmas. Remember those commercials? What were they called?
Oh, the babushka wearing Russian Jewish women.
It's that Fox News commercial. Yes, Holocaust survivors. That's what it is. Holocaust survivors.
times for elderly Holocaust
You
survivors.
too. Here we go, guys.
These are difficult times for elderly Holocaust survivors. With no food and no heat, they get weaker and more
Yenta.
die every day.
I want you to see their faces.
Rabbi.
Look
Yechiel.
into their eyes.
How much? Let me ask you a question, Stephanie. How much do you think that Rabbi Yechiel Echstein's hat is cost him?
Oh,
Tell me,
that's
how
at
much-
least $100 to $200.
That is a
if that's
200
real fur.
That is a $250 beaver hat sitting on that man's head.
You to see their faces. Look into their eyes that are haunted still by the memories of the past.
They desperately need our help now. A simple blanket, a loaf of bread, and medicine.
They don't want a loaf of bread or medicine. They want money.
A simple blanket?
Stephanie, we're going to have to talk about your people later. We just unlocked phase 1 of the bonus content. That means that you guys
They want me to eat cereal. Yes.
eat your cereal, Stephanie. When we come back, Justin Peterson, and if we hit $200 raised by the end of the show, you're going to get some holiday cheer like you ain't never seen before.
Got my cereal.
It's the Wake Up America
gonna eat.
show. You're watching the 4 Liberty Network. Bye-bye. If you better be on Rumble or else this stream is going away. So get to rumble.com/AP for Liberty because I'm about to turn off the feed for everybody who's not on Rumble. Otherwise, see you next week.
The bipartisan war on prices is coming for your credit card. The strange new alliance between democratic socialists and nationalist populists isn't a sign of political healing. It's a sign that people have lost their grip on basic economics. In a scene that perfectly captures the strangeness of American politics today, President Donald Trump, a billionaire and self-styled champion of American business, at least the ones he likes, was all smiles during an Oval Office visit from Zoran Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist and mayor-elect of New York City. For months, the two men traded the harshest of insults. Mamdani was a communist and radical left lunatic, Trump a fascist and despot. Yet with New York's mayoral election over and cameras clicking, the insults were on hold. The men praised each other as rational and productive. Trump even joked that Mamdani might surprise some conservative people. Give them points for collegiality, just don't be surprised. Trump and Mamdani are only the latest example of the right and the left converging on economic issues. One likes price floors, the other likes rent control. They're both waging the same war on prices, as the Cato Institute's Ryan Bourne calls it, and this war enjoys rising bipartisan support. Take legislation introduced earlier this year by what would have once been an unlikely duo, Sens, Josh Hawley, R. Moe, and Bernie Sanders, IVEET. Their 10% credit card interest rate cap act, also reflecting a Trump idea from the 2024 campaign, sounds compassionate. Who enjoys paying 25% interest? In practice, price controls of all sorts are disastrous. Credit card interest rates are high because unsecured consumer lending is very risky. They're the price for the lender taking a chance on a person. If the government artificially caps rates far below the market rate, banks will stop lending to riskier borrowers. That doesn't just mean broke shopaholics. It includes the working single parent using a financial last resort before payday. Just as rent controls can create a housing shortage by reducing the attractiveness of supplying those homes, interest rate caps can create a credit shortage. They put millions of working-class Americans, the people proposals like these are supposed to protect, at risk of being debanked. Stripped of their credit cards, some will turn to payday lenders, loan sharks, and pawn shops whose charges are far higher. It gets worse. A cap this low wouldn't merely shrink credit availability, it would invert it. At 10%, banks would only lend to the safest, highest income borrowers. Credit cards would become a luxury product for the affluent, a financial advantage while everyone else is pushed into the financial shadows. Then there's the fact that millions of small businesses rely on credit cards. According to a Federal Reserve survey of small businesses, half of employer firms use them to fund operations. Cards function as unsecured working capital lines for firms that lack collateral or a long credit history. A 10% cap would push them toward far costlier and riskier alternatives. And forget about travel miles or cash back. Those programs are funded by interest charges, which a 10% cap would wipe out. When lenders cannot price risk through market rates, they shift the cost to higher fees, shorter grace periods, and more hidden charges. Consumers don't necessarily pay less, they just pay differently and more opaquely. Finally, because credit cards are the primary way tens of millions of Americans build credit histories, a cap would destroy a crucial ladder into the financial mainstream. It would be comical if it weren't so harmful. A policy sold as pro-worker could lock millions of workers out of the modern credit economy and transform a household staple into something available only to those with the least need for consumer credit. Hawley and Sanders rail against credit card companies as loan sharks for charging 25% interest. As Dominic Pino pointed out a few months ago at National Review, many of their closest political allies in organized labor offer their own members branded credit cards at 15%, 20%, or even 28%. At the time, the AFL-CIO's Union Plus MasterCard ranged up to 25.15%. The National Education Association's card reached 28.24%. Service Employees International Union, SEIU, members could get a card at 28.99%. The Teamsters card charged 27.49%, and Capital One paid the union more than $4 million in royalties to promote it. If 10% is the moral ceiling, it's not just credit card companies who are guilty. The strange new alliance between democratic socialists and nationalist populists isn't a sign of political healing. It's a sign that people have lost their grip on basic economics. They've decided that markets can be bullied, risk forbidden, and prices commanded into submission. But magical thinking still produces real-world shortages when put into practice. If this is the new bipartisan consensus, the worst thing being capped is common sense. Imagine bringing George Washington back to life. Just to explain that in 2025, men can get pregnant, waving an American flag might offend someone, and our government is $34 trillion in debt. But that's not all, George. We have drag queen story hour for toddlers, pronouns are mandatory, and Harvard can't define woman. Oh. And we send billions to Ukraine but can't fix potholes in Ohio. You know, just normal modern empire stuff. I'm sure he'd be totally cool with it. Right after he finishes reloading. He didn't cross the Delaware for this nonsense, but you can carry on the fight with gear that would have made King George cry. Shop bold, shop free, shop for libertyshop.com. Picture this. It's 1776. Thomas Jefferson is hunched over his desk at Monticello, ink-stained fingers, writing the most radical document in human history. Do you really think he was sipping Starbucks? No. He was drinking something bold, something black, something brewed strong enough to fuel a revolution. That's the spirit behind Founding Flavors, our signature line of liberty-fueled coffee. No soy froth, no climate guilt, no corporate slogans. Just real coffee, inspired by the men who wrote freedom into existence. Every cup is a quiet protest. Against mediocrity, against tyranny, against bad coffee. So this morning, skip the globalist brew. Grab something worthy of a free man's sunrise. Founding Flavors. Now brewing at forlibertyshop.com. Legend has it, back in 1773,